UAE Sst. Lesson 11. My family, my identity. In this lesson, we will learn about different types of families in the UAE and how families shape identity. Keywords: population. Population means people. Nationality. Nationality means where are you from? Like if you are from India, your nationality is Indian. If you are from UAE, your nationality is Emirati. If you are from Sri Lanka, your nationality is Sri Lankan. Religion, we know there are many religions like Christianity, Hinduism, Islam or Muslims. Expat, people or nationalities that live in different countries, not in their own country. For an example, we are the expat of this country because we have come from a different country to live here. So we are expat. Identity. Identity means the features or the facts of being who you are. Features or facts of being who you are is called identity. So in this lesson, we will explain why people live in social groups. We know social groups means a group of people like families, communities, nation. And then we will find relevant resources to find information about UAE. Like for an example, we can use the internet, we can read papers, picture books. So we go through these resources to find out information about the country UAE. So our first activity is, how much do you know about the UAE? We are going to learn about UAE and first we will check how much we know about UAE. So here are 7 questions. Question number 1 says, are there more males or females living in the UAE? Are there males or females living in the UAE? Males means boys, females means girls. Question number 2. Which emirate has the most people living in it? Which emirate has the most people living in it? We know that there are 7 emirates in UAE, right? One is Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Fujairah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah and Sharjah, right? So we will find out in which emirate there are too many people living. Number 3, are there more emirates or expats living in the UAE? Are there more emirates or expats, people from other countries living in the UAE? 4. Which countries do most expats come from? Which countries do most expats come from? 5. Which languages do most people living in the UAE speak? Which languages do most people living in the UAE speak? Question number 6. How many countries do people living in the UAE come from? How many countries do people living in the UAE come from? And the last question is, which religions do most people living in the UAE practice? Which religions do most people living in the UAE practice? So in this lesson we will find the answers for these questions. So this is the map of UAE. And this is the flag of the UAE. So there are 4 colors in the UAE flag. One is red, then you have green, white and black. UAE population, male versus female. So here it says in UAE you have 72% of male and 28% of female. So now we know that there are more male than female living in the UAE, right? UAE population by Emirates. So in Dubai you have 35.7% people living, Abu Dhabi 34.7%, Sharjah 16.2%, Ajman 5.8%, Ras Al Khaimah 4.1%, Fujairah 2.7%, Al Quwain 0.9% only. Now looking at this, which emirate has the highest population? Dubai. Why? This is 35.7 and this is 34.7. So Dubai has the biggest population or the highest population in the UAE. UAE populations, Emiratis versus expatriates. So here you have Egyptians 4.23, Emirates 11.48, Pakistanis 12.69, Indians 27.49, Filipinos 5.56 and others 38.55. Now look at these numbers. The first number over here 4, 11, 12, 27 and 5. So which countries do most expats come from? So from which countries do most expats come from? We have India here, 27%. We have 27% coming from India, and also we have Pakistanis, that is 12%. So now we know answers for most of the questions that we checked before, right? Question number 1 said, are there more males or females living in the UAE? So we found out that there are more males living in the UAE. Number 2, which emirate has the most people living in it? Dubai. 3, are there Emiratis or expats living in the UAE? Expats, people from other countries. 4, which countries do most expats come from? India and Pakistan. So if they ask which country, if they had asked only one country, then you will write India, because there are many people from India living here in UAE. 5, which languages do most people living in the UAE speak? So most of us speak English. Since there are many Indians living here, Hindi can be also a language that mostly spoken. Okay, so if they ask one language, then it will be English. If they ask more than one, you can write English and Hindi. Question number 6. How many countries do people living in the UAE come from? More than 200. Which religions do most people living in the UAE practice? Islam. So most of the people here in UAE practice Islam. The people who practice Islam are called Muslims. Okay? So let's do the exercise. This exercise says, with your teacher's help, answer the questions about yourself and your family to understand yourself and your community. Where were you born? Where are your parents from? What languages do you speak at home? What are your 3 favorite holidays? Where do your grandparents live? If you wear traditional clothes, what do they look like? So this is all about you. All about you is your identity. Okay? What is identity? Your identity is what makes you the same as people in your community, yet different from people in other communities. Your identity can be formed by a common home country, language, or religion. When you grow up, your identity may be formed by the way you make your living or your interests. So your identity is what makes you the same as the people in your community. Like you may speak the same language, or you may follow the same religion. Yeah, so your identity is as the same people living in your community. And identity can be changed, or with time it changes. It's not something that is fixed. It can be changed with time. Okay, so what did we learn in this lesson? We learned information about the UAE and also about identity. Read the lesson again or revise the lesson again to learn information about the UAE and also to find out your identity. UAE Sst. Lesson 13. Celebrations in different cultures. In this lesson, you will understand that holidays are celebrated in different ways in different cultures. In this lesson, you will understand that holidays are celebrated in different ways in different cultures. So, keywords: New Year. We all know what is New Year. A year that is born. Like now it is 2020. When 2020 finishes, the new year will be 2021. China, you know that it's a country. Arab, Europe, solar, calendar, lunar. So here we will compare and contrast traditions in families with different cultural backgrounds. We will compare and contrast traditions in families with different cultural backgrounds. Means different culture people, they celebrate ceremonies in different ways. birthdays, so we have religious ceremonies, a new year. So different cultures celebrate these festivals or celebrations in different ways. And also we will make connections between places and events to understand past and present. We will make connections between places and events to understand the past and present. Okay, so activity 1. Read stories of 3 students. Underline ways that each student celebrates the new year. So here we have a student from China. His name is Yiming. So let's see what does he say. Ni hao. My name is Yiming and I am from China. In China, people celebrate the new year by lighting fireworks and watching dragon dances. Each year has an animal symbol. I was born in the year of the monkey. There are many Chinese people in the UAE. So we meet and celebrate the Chinese New Year together by sharing Chinese food. It is a family tradition to call our relatives in China to wish them a happy new year. So Yiming from China says that they celebrate New Year by lighting fireworks and watching dragon dances. Right? So this is one way of celebrating New Year. We are in China. Do we do that in our New Year? Dragon dance and stuff? Yes, we do light fireworks, but dragon dance? No. Each year has an animal symbol, and this is also for China. Each year has an animal symbol. I was born in the year of monkey. There are many Chinese people living in the UAE. So we meet and celebrate the New Year together by sharing Chinese food. And then what do? They meet people, the Chinese people, and celebrate the New Year, Chinese New Year, together by sharing Chinese food. So we too do that. Okay, we don't share Chinese food, but then we share the food that we make or we like or which comes from our culture. Okay. So here we have John from UK. Hello, I am John. I am from the UK. Most people in the UK are Christian and celebrate the New Year by the solar calendar. The solar year 365 and quarter days. Solar calendar means the calendar that we are using. January, February, the same calendar. On December 31st, the last day of the year, my family stays up late. When the clock strikes 12 midnight, we make noise by lighting small firecrackers. It is a family tradition to eat cabbage on New Year's Day for luck. So let's check what John does during their New Year. So John says, most people in the UK are Christians and they celebrate the New Year by solar calendar. the solar year 365 and quarter days. On December 31, which is the last day of the year, what do? My family stays up late. When the clock strikes 12 midnight, we make noise by lighting small firecrackers. So, and also he says, it is a family tradition to eat cabbage on the New Year's Day for luck. So that is their culture or tradition, that they eat cabbage on the New Year's Day for luck. Okay, so that's about John in UK and how he celebrates New Year. And finally, we have Abdullah from Emirat. That is Abdullah from UAE. Marhaba, my name is Abdullah and I am from the UAE. Emiratis are Muslims, so we celebrate the Lunar New Year or Hijri New Year. The Lunar New Year has 354 days. Muharram is the first month of the Hijri New Year. Since Hijri New Year is a public holiday, we do not have schools. It is a family tradition to spend the day with my relatives and eat lunch at my grandmother's house. So this is Abdullah and he explains how he celebrates the New Year. Okay, so let's check. Marhaba, that is how he greets. My name is Abdullah. I am from the UAE. Emiratis are Muslims. So here we have Emiratis, Muslims. So we celebrate Lunar New Year or Hijri New Year. So their New Year is called Lunar New Year or Hijri New Year. The Lunar New Year has 354 days and their Lunar New Year has 354 days. Here in UK, where John says their New Year comes in 365 and quarter days. You see, it's different. It's all not the same. Since Hijri New Year is a public holiday, we do not have school. It is a family tradition to spend the day with my relatives and eat lunch at my grandmother's house. So what is their tradition? Their tradition is to spend the day with their relatives and have lunch at their grandmother's house. Okay, so which holiday? Activity 2, question number 1. Which holiday are all three students celebrating? All three students are celebrating the New Year. Question number 2. Which student celebrates the New Year on 1st January? 1st January is John, right? So John celebrates the New Year on 1st January. Question number 3. Which student celebrates the New Year on a different day each year? Different day each year will be Abdullah. So Abdullah celebrates the New Year on a different day each year. Question number 4. Which student was born in the year of the monkey? Yiming from China was born in the year of monkey. Activity 3. What about you? How does your family celebrate New Year's Day? Draw a celebration. So you can draw a celebration here. How do you celebrate New Year? And you will draw it there. With that, we come to the end of the lesson. So what did we learn here? In this lesson, we learned that how different people, that is one from China, UK and from the UAE, celebrate the New Year. And we learned that different culture celebrates the New Year in different ways. Okay. So revise the lesson and answer the question. UAE Sst. Lesson 13. Holiday, Identity and Tolerance. In this lesson, you will learn how holidays shape our identities and how tolerance allows different people to live together in peace. You will learn how holidays shape our identities and how tolerance allows different people to live together in peace. Now we are in UAE and there are people coming from more than 200 countries. We learned that, right? But still, we are able to live together without fighting with them. We are friends with them and we are in peace with them. And why can we do that? Because of tolerance. Because we respect them and they do respect us. And there is tolerance, that we tolerate each other. So there is peace in the country. Even though there are people coming from 200 or more countries. Okay, so keywords are identity, tolerance, religion, beliefs, holidays, traditions. Here we will understand the importance of preserving the elements of national identity, and we will make connections between places and events to understand the past and present. So what will we be doing? We will understand the importance of preserving the elements of national identity, and we will make connections between places and events to understand the past and present. Activity 1. Read Rashid's story about holidays celebrated by Emiratis in the UAE. So let's see what Rashid has to say about holidays celebrated in the UAE. Assalamu alaikum, meaning peace be with you. My name is Rashid and I am an Emirati. I will tell you about my 2 favorite holiday celebrations. So he is going to speak about 2 of his favorite celebrations. Emiratis are Muslims, so most of our holidays are Muslim holidays. Being a Muslim is part of my identity. My favorite holiday is Eid al-Fitr. It is the celebration that comes after Ramadan, the month of fasting. Fasting means we do not eat or drink during daylight hours, from sunrise to sunset. We read the Quran and have special prayers in the evening. So Rashid says that Eid al-Fitr is a celebration that he likes. It comes after Ramadan. Ramadan means the month of fasting. And fasting means that one does not eat or drink the whole day. They do not drink during daylight hours from sunrise to sunset. And what do they do during this time? They read the Quran and have special prayers in the evening. Muslims can see how it feels to be hungry and thirsty, and this helps us learn to control ourselves and to feel for others. So this month, where they fast for 30 days, helps the Muslim people to understand how poor people or people who have no food or water to eat and drink feel. During Eid al-Fitr, most families get together for Eid celebrations. Some families celebrate by having fun outside in centers, parks, restaurants, or other fun places. So when Eid al-Fitr comes, what do? They get together, families get together, and they go out and they have fun. Out means like they go to the park, restaurants, and they spend time together. So that is one of his favorite holidays. And the other is my other favorite holiday. My other favorite holiday is National Day. Emiratis are proud of our country. Being an Emirati is part of my identity. We appreciate the wise leadership of our leaders and we are grateful to God. For all of these reasons, we decorate our cars, dress up in traditional clothes, display our flags, and include all people living in the UAE in our celebration. So what do they do on the National Day? They decorate their cars, they dress up in traditional clothes, they display their flags, and also they include everybody like me and you and all the people who are not Emiratis in this celebration, and they have fun. So the National Day falls on 2nd of December and we all get holiday. So that is the other holiday that Rashid likes. So Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr draw a picture of Rashid celebrating his two favorite holidays. And then here you will draw how he celebrates Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr, and on the other page you will draw how he celebrates the National Day. Activity 2. Think of two holidays that show your identity. Now Eid al-Fitr and National Day, these holidays are Rashid's because he is a Muslim and also he is from the UAE. So these holidays are part of his identity. Like Rashid, we too have our own holidays. We too have special days that represents or that shows, that tells our identity. So think of such two holidays, list them, write them, and draw how you celebrate them. So one can be, some people celebrate Diwali, some people celebrate Xmas or Christmas, and then what else? Onam. So each culture, each religion, or different countries, they celebrate different kinds of celebrations, and you will be drawing 2 holidays that shows your identity. Okay. Activity 3. Did you choose the same holiday celebration as Rashid? So now let's compare. Rashid has 2 holidays and you have 2 holidays. So were they same or are they same? If they are same, write why they are same. If they are not same, write why they are not the same. Remember Rashid's greeting. How did Rashid greet? Rashid said, Assalamu alaikum. How does it show the goal of tolerance? So when Rashid sees you or somebody else who is not a Muslim, and if he greets this person as Assalamu alaikum, what will be your reaction? We also greet them back, right? If we know to greet them, we will say Walaikum Assalam, or we will nod our head, or we could say hello. We don't get angry because he speaks in a different language or he greets in a different way. That is called tolerance. We greet them back with a smile. Means we are tolerating them. That keeps us in peace. Okay? So read the lesson again, revise the lesson and complete the activity. So what did we learn in this lesson? We learned about Rashid and his 2 favorite holidays that speaks about his identity or that represents his identity, that shows his identity, right? And then we also learned 2 of our own holidays that represents our identity or that speaks about our identity. And we also learned that tolerance is a very important quality that keeps a country in peace. If you can tolerate, you will be always in peace, and not only you, everyone. Yeah. So revise the lesson to understand the lesson better. UAE Sst lesson 14. Our school community. So our communities are family, school, classroom, social community, neighborhood. City is our community, that is Fujairah, and our country is also our community, which is UAE. So we already know community means a group of people. Our communities are mostly group of people. We don't belong to group of animals, right? So our communities are mostly group of people. So these are our communities, or we belong to these communities. So in this lesson, you will recognize that we are members of the school community. Me, you, if your brothers and sisters are also in the same school, we all belong to the same school community. So that is what we'll be learning about. Keywords: classroom, you know what is a classroom. Community, you know now, a group of people. Emblem, you will learn what emblem is. Uniform, you know what is a uniform. You wear a uniform to school. And identity, which we just learned. So here we will explain why people live in social groups. That is why people live in families, why people live in communities or in nations. And we will give examples on how the feelings and opinions of others change over time. We will give examples on how the feelings and opinions of others change over time. And we will also learn various ways or various strategies to avoid a fight. Various ways to avoid a fight. Okay? Okay, so activity 1. Think back to the first lesson. Remember the pictures of animals in social groups. It's not only people are in social groups, animals also live in social groups. Not all, but most of them. Here you see they are bees. So they are together. Like we are together in the school. So this is also a community, but it's for animals. Okay? A group of bees, right? And ants also live in communities, means they live in groups. List 3 things you have learned about communities so far. So what have we learned about communities? Read lesson 1 and find out what information did you learn about communities in the lesson. And write 3 things in the space given here. Activity 2. Brainstorm. Can you think of any communities you are part of? Can you think of any communities you are part of? Draw and label it in the space below. So we already learned that we are almost in 7 communities right now. That is family, school, social, neighborhood, city, country. So these are all our communities, right? So now you can draw a community that you like to share with your friends or draw in the book. Okay, so draw a community that you belong to. You will draw it here in this page, and then in the next page you will write or you will complete this exercise, which says this is my community. So you have a picture here, right? You have drawn a picture here. For an example, if you draw a family, so then you will write here, this is my family community, or you can say home community. So you will write the title over here of your picture and write 5 words to describe your community. 5 words, not sentences, just words. So write 5 words that describes your community. So if you write, say if you had drawn a school here, which means school community, so you can write here, this is my school community. So write 5 words describes school, because that is the community that you have drawn over here. So how can you describe school? Write 5 words that describe school, or you can write 5 things that you do in school. So school is a place where you learn, so you can write the word learn, play, read, write, friends. Yeah, just one word, not sentence. 5 words, so 1 word in each space. Okay. Activity 3, brainstorm. What does it feel like to be a part of a community? So now we know that we belong to different communities. So being in different communities make you what? How do you feel? You feel sad, you feel happy, you feel excited, you feel loved, you feel cared. You can write that here. How do you feel? Next question. Think about school. Use the circles to draw your face, showing your feelings. On my first day of school, I felt. How did you feel on the first day of your school? Write the word over here and then you will draw the relevant face here. If you felt happy, you will write happy and then you can draw a happy face. If you were excited, then you can draw an excited face. Yeah? Then next, today in school, I feel. Okay. How did you feel today in school? Write the word, draw the face. What do you like about school? What do you like about school? So you can write a sentence or a word that you like about school. Your school. Okay. Next question. What do you wish you could change about school? The next question says, what do you wish you could change about school? What do you like to change in school? What should be changed in school so that you will like the school better? Okay, so you will write a word or a sentence. So that is all about your school community and why you like your school community and what do you want to change in your school community to like the community more. Okay. Okay. So these are emblems. Here, look at this emblem here. Have you seen this before? And can you name the country that represents or the country that owns this emblem? Who is the owner of this emblem? Which country is the owner of this emblem? See, here in the center, red, green, white and black. It's the UAE flag, right? So this emblem belongs to UAE. What about this emblem here, the second one? This belongs to India. And then the last one belongs to our own English high school. So these are emblems. Activity 4. Look at the pictures. What communities use these symbols? Now here, these are some symbols that we see in our daily life. Okay, let's find out the communities that owns this symbol. Like, let's find out whose symbols are these. Who is the owner of this symbol? The owner has to be a community. Okay, so look at the first one. Some symbols are very easy because the word is already given. The owner's name is already given in the symbol, so you can easily identify. So the first one here, it says Emirates. So you know this symbol belongs to Emirates Airlines. Okay. Now let's go to the second one. Look at this symbol here. You have the what you call red, green, the UAE flag colors. So of course this symbol belongs to UAE, but to which community? This symbol belongs to Football Association. UAE Football Association means it belongs to the football community. That is why you have here F and A. F means football, A means association. Okay. And the third one here, what is this symbol? It's the UAE flag, right? So the UAE flag belongs to which community? It belongs to United Arab Emirates. Yeah, it belongs to UAE. The flag, which is a symbol, belongs to UAE. Okay, and then you have another symbol here. So this is easy because the name is already given over here in red. What does it say? Emirates Red Crescent. So this symbol belongs to Emirates Red Crescent. Okay. Here it's a wheelchair. A person is seated on a wheelchair, right? So the name of the symbol, now, like the flag, the name of this symbol is the International Symbol of Access. The name of this symbol is the International Symbol of Access. And this symbol belongs to disabled community. Disabled community. Disabled means people who have difficulties or who cannot walk, like they have some kind of difficulty health-wise. Sometimes some cannot talk. So this kind of people belong to disabled community. And what is the name of this symbol? The International Symbol of Access. And finally, you can see a doctor here, and the doctor belongs to healthcare community. The doctor belongs to healthcare community. Okay, so these are some symbols and the communities that own the symbols. So learn this page well and learn the names of the symbols as well. Activity 5. Uniforms and emblems. Uniforms and emblems. You already know what uniforms are, and now you know what are emblems, right? In our school, we all wear the same uniform with the emblem of the school. Our school uniform has our emblem, right? I showed you our own school emblem. Yes. So the school emblem acts like a badge which lets people know we all belong to the same school community. So this emblem tells everyone that we all belong to this school community, our own English high school community. Draw your uniform and emblem in the space below. So you will do that here. Draw your uniform and emblem in the space below. What is the meaning of your school emblem? What is the meaning of your school emblem? So you can see the emblem here, and on the emblem it says lead kindly light. It is a slogan of the school, means it's a school saying. Yeah. So what is the meaning of the emblem? The school emblem says, our school emblem says, our own English high school Fujairah comforts and reassures everyone in its community. It comforts and reassures everyone who belongs to its community. This is what our emblem says. Okay. Activity 6. Building your class community. Building your class community. Class community means we all are in one class, right? Grade 1C. So this is our community. This is our class community. Me and 31 students together, we have created a class community. and we belong to grade 1C, that is our community. Okay, so think of the goals you want to achieve this year together with your class. So what goals do you want to achieve this year together with your class? What do you want to become this year together with your class? Like we can say we want to become better readers, or we can say we want to become good friends. What else can we say? We want to learn to tolerate each other better. Yeah, can be anything. So think of the goals you want to achieve this year together with your class. How will you help each other to achieve? Discuss this with your partners. Design your own class emblem, and then you can make your own class emblem where you can write grade 1C, and then you can make an emblem of your own. Design a class emblem based on your goals and ambitions for the year. Based on your goals and ambitions for the year. Since we all are learning online, so we can draw a laptop or something like that, and we can write grade 1C over there and create our own emblem. Okay, that's for us only. Nobody can take that emblem because it belongs to grade 1C class community. So be creative, and I will see your emblem soon in the classroom. Okay, so what did we learn in this lesson? We learned that we all belong to school community, and also we belong to 6 other communities, which are family, social community, neighborhood, city, country, and so on, right? It's not only people who live in communities, animals also live in communities. So that these are what you call the bees and ants are some of the examples. So what else did we learn? We learned what are emblems. Yeah, each country has its own emblem, and we do design our own emblem for grade 1C. Our school has an emblem. Yeah. And what else did we learn in this lesson? We learned symbols of UAE, famous symbols of UAE, and also we learned the owners of these symbols, the communities that owns these symbols. Okay, so revise the lesson, learn the symbols, learn the names of the symbols and the communities that owns these symbols, and complete the exercise. I will see you with another lesson very soon, and I wish you all the very best for the upcoming exam.